space race is back.
Today, for the first time in more than a half century, the U.S. has returned to the moon.
It's been over 50 years since Apollo 17 left the surface of the moon, and America's return to the lunar surface isn't just to take in the view.
The Chinese space program is also a military space program. They are very aggressive and they are very good.
The space race in the 1960s, championed by President Kennedy, foresaw a world in which space and the moon would be the launching point for global technological advantage. 50 years later, almost everything we do in our daily lives is tied to satellites orbiting Earth. Apollo 11 ended much of the space competition between the United States and Russia. American victory led to cooperative agreements including the development and manning of the International Space Station, and Russia ferrying Americans into space between the shuttering of the shuttle program and the success of SpaceX. But today, there's a new player in space.
I don't want China to get to the South Pole first with humans and then say, this is ours, stay out.
The South Pole of the moon is now considered the proverbial X because it's believed to contain ice. Ice is water, and water, H2O, isn't just for sipping a cold one after a 238,900-mile trip from Earth. Good old high-quality H2O is hydrogen for fuel and oxygen for breathing.
And that's what I call high-quality H2O.
Two things essential for further space exploration. To date, only 5 countries have landed a spacecraft on the moon, but only the United States has put humans on the lunar surface. Space may be the final frontier, but the moon is the launching point. China's investment in its space program has more than doubled over the last 5 years. They're now capable of refueling their satellites in orbit, conducting cyber attacks against American satellites, and even physically interfering with the orbit of equipment. The Department of Defense confirmed that China recently launched a hypersonic missile capable of orbiting the Earth and dropping to the surface before missile defense systems can respond, something I discussed back on episode 35 with the launch of hypersonics.
We go into space because whatever mankind must undertake, free men must fully share.
That guy's a leader with a vision. A lot's changed in 60 years, but America's status as a superpower is what controls world order. We say the battlefield is a 3-dimensional environment. Well, President Kennedy knew that space was 4-dimensional, and domination on Earth and in space is what protected freedom. Now, we have to hope that Musk, Bezos, and Branson can get us there.